So welcome everybody.
Hello.
We have a very special guest with us, Mr. Fiedel. Welcome again.
Yeah, hello.
So second time
Nice to be here.
in Chile.
Yes.
How do you like it?
I'm excited to be back. Yeah. It was a nice day so far. Yeah.
Very
It was
nice.
great. I enjoyed it.
Cool. So what was that track we were listening right now?
It was a remix I did for Annual House Meltdown on Vinyl Factory label in UK. About 2014 or so.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all I can say about it. It was a nice, rather chill mix, a bit deeper, with a long break in between, and a bit sad from the mood. Yeah, that's nice.
It's a nice club track. Too good. So first of all, I would like to ask you when was your first significant approach to music in your life? What was the first music you like?
The first music I liked was hip hop and let's say Kraftwerk, Depeche Mode,
Okay.
and so on. So more electronics and beats. And all those, back then I was 12, 13, so around 85, 86. There was a lot of sampling music coming up, like Bomb the Bass, Beat This, for instance. And I really liked that kind of studio approach of music and working with samples and so on. Yeah, and then came Acid House already in 86, 87.
And what about that hip hop period? Did you? What kind of bands or artists were you?
Okay, it wasn't a period. It's still on somehow. It was Mantronics, Egyptian Lover, Boogie Down Productions.
Nice.
So yeah, groups that were on back then. Yeah, and I listened to it through the radio since I'm from Eastern Germany. We weren't allowed to travel, and we couldn't buy any music in Eastern Germany. So then radio shows were my window to the world, and I always liked that kind of music with that certain, let's say, club dance vibe and so on.
Radio shows with the DJs from East Berlin too, or worldwide or Germany?
Not really DJs. It was there was one particular show in Western Berlin radio that I was lucky to receive. That was Monika Dietel's Heartbeats per Minute.
Okay.
And then there was another show called Maxi Stunde on Eastern German DT64 radio. And that was Sunday before noon. So I sat with my headphones on and having lunch with my parents and listening to that session. And they played 12-inch maxi singles, all the tracks. And that was quite nice.
The whole album?
The whole maxi single, yeah.
Okay.
And then I recorded a lot on tape, and then I also played it at school parties and so on. Yeah.
In a cassette, from your mixtapes? Nice.
Not mixtapes, the tracks. So I had lists with the tracks on and the counters, and then I bought another tape recorder, and then one for fast forwarding and rewinding, and the other one for playing. And then that was my
little studio.
My first start to DJ, yeah, actually.
Nice. So, and you mentioned Kraftwerk, of course, and during the 80s, I guess, everybody knows, but this mix between Kraftwerk and hip hop too. So lots of hip hop artists digging into Kraftwerk and mixing with the MCs and the DJing. And this whole new kind of style emerged too. Did you went into that, or did you have hip hop in one hand and Kraftwerk on the other one, and then you?
No, it all belonged together for me because it had the same vibe back then. And also, let's say the beginning of techno was the same vibe. I don't know how to describe it. It's just a dance floor vibe that I still want to promote these days when I'm playing. It was not a special dark or industrial or whatever vibe. It's a rather dance floor vibe. It has to go into the hips. That was the music back then for me. So hip hop and also Kraftwerk, because it was kind of funky with some new sounds back then. And hip hop sampled those sounds and made nice beats with it and nice raps and so on. House also sampled parts of it, and there was also a lot of rapping or singing along with house tracks and so on. And it was all same vibe for me. I didn't divide it into
specific
different
genres.
Genres. Yeah.
Cool. And so when was that, like, from that time in your life, listening to a lot of music, like when did you put your hands for the first time onto DJ equipment, or how did you start making music? Did you play an instrument? Or?
No, not yet. So, like I said, I started with cassettes, being a DJ with cassettes, cassette J, or whatever you call it, because there was no possibility to obtain records, to buy records. It was not possible. That was only possible after the wall came down. So that's when I started to buy records in '91, and in '92 was my first DJ gig with records, and let's say the beginning of my professional DJ career as a DJ. Really, it was always my wish to become a DJ with records, because I couldn't have it back then, and it was always a dream for me.
And did you have like this input from hip hop? I guess like hip hop DJs, like. How to elaborate techniques from the mixing, or did you just start with your own style, like exploring?
I tried out some things, but then also I was quite young. I was 17 when I bought my first records, 18, and I didn't have so much money. And I tried out some hip hop stuff, so like scratching and so on. But then I felt like, oh, you paid too much money for it to destroy your records. So then I stopped doing that, but I kind of developed my own style, or my personal style of DJing. So I didn't learn it somewhere. I just bought records and tried to bring them together. And also when I was out at parties, I rather listened to what the DJs were doing, not deck sharking like someone do. Of course, sometimes I looked at it a little bit, but from afar, to match what I heard and what they were doing. Then try to do those things at home as well.
Okay.
And,
so training the ear, like
exactly. Yeah. Nice. And let's say the feeling for the music. So that's, for me, it's most important for a DJ to have a feeling for the music. That's the basic thing that you have to have as a DJ.
Of course. And what about producing? Like, did a lot of time passed in between, like the DJing and the first time you had that the need to produce something, or?
Not too much. So I met Aerosmith back then in 1994. So 2 years after I started professionally DJing.
2 years.
And he had a bedroom studio and a lot of analog synthesizers, and he was working on those synthesizers, putting in different circuits and knobs and so on. And every time I came there, he said, "Oh, Phil, let's try that." And I said, "Wow, that sounds great." Then we started jamming in his bedroom studio. That's how the first two records came up. So the first two MMM records in 95 and 96.
Yeah, I want to ask you about MMM.
That's product of the result of that work. And last year we had our first album out, On the Edge. So that's how long it lasts already. So to work together with a good friend and with a musically and also technically really advanced mind.
Yeah, so really Aerosmith was like tinkering with the circuits like from an early age.
He still does in a digital way, so that you can hear on our album. So some things that happened there only possible through his mastermind of being into a reactor, for instance. Or something like that.
He's the Aerosmith is the creator of the Razors.
Yes,
synth
exactly.
For native instruments, right?
Also based on the reactor program.
Yeah. Nice. And is he still working with native instruments, like developing stuff?
Currently not. But maybe, who knows?
He's not short on
future.
ideas. Like.
No. It's a lot of ideas, yeah. But you also have to form. It's also a marketplace. You have to form a product if you want to bring something out. You cannot just do it like that. So that would be.
So MMM, what does it stand for? Like, why did you choose that name?
The name is Messe der Meister von Morgen. It's an abbreviation. And Messe der Meister von Morgen, you can translate it into English, Exhibition of the Masters of Tomorrow, something like that. It was a movement in Eastern Germany where school kids invented something or made some material to show, let's say, physical things in the classes. So I did something like that, and that's why I took part in that movement. I got a certificate, and we both like the name and also what MMM is standing for. It's just being one step ahead of everything, sound-wise, idea-wise, or something like that. And I guess we kind of kept it over all those years to be like that.
So, but the project went really well. Like you had like big hits, like dance floor hits, played by other DJs. So, do you have any track from MMM? Maybe, so we can listen a little bit.
Which one you want to listen to?
Donna. So when did you release this track?
1996.
96.
Still sounds fresh, right?
I love this track, and I love the sound it has. Like to me, I guess it's like a hardware, like sounding like a very analogish.
It is.
Do you remember like what kind of hardware were you using?
808 and an MS-20.
Okay.
For the bass line. And so, that's it. But you cannot put it in any compartment. Maybe that's why it still sounds fresh, because it's not. It didn't follow a fashion.
Yeah.
So you cannot put it into some. Of course, sound-wise, yes, you would not do it like that anymore. Maybe nowadays, but yeah, still. It is.
Very nice. So, talking about clubs, I would like to ask you about Berghain, of course. Like, what's your participation there? Like, how did you begin to work with Berghain, and what can you tell us a little bit?
I was working at Hardwax from 1998 to 2001. In the 2000, a good friend of mine, she was also working at Hardwax, Cora S was her DJ name. She was playing at Ostgut before, and she asked me, oh, they're looking for new DJs and so on, and should I propose you? They want to try it out, and I said, yeah, why not? Then I played there. That was summer 2000, and since then I'm with Ostgut in Berghain. So.
And when it was called Ostgut, it was the same place?
No, it's a different place.
Okay.
It was right across the train tracks. Now there's a big Mercedes-Benz arena, it's called. So they tore the building down because of building that thing, and the parking lots for this big arena, and that's why they had to move.
Okay. Nice. And so you're still playing at Berghain, like currently?
I'm resident there, yes.
Of course.
Since the beginning.
And
so
since you mentioned Hardwax and you're wearing like Hardwax t-shirt, with branding. So what about Hardwax? Like how did you make the connection there, and what was your job?
I was a customer since say 1991 or so, regular customer at Hardwax.
Okay.
And
digging,
buying records for years, and asking stupid questions. Then one day the owner approached me, and they needed some more people, and then he approached me and asked me if I want to work at Hardwax. So then I did. It was in 1998.
98, nice. Yeah. It used to be like maybe to people like older, like me and you, to go to record stores and to ask stupid questions like you said, and talk to people there who used to be most of the time DJs also. So you learn a lot, and you get to know other people buying records too. And
exactly, that's how many connections came together. So my first DJ gig happened through meeting someone at Hardwax. Was Nippels. He was a house DJ back then, and we just started to talk to each other while waiting for the turntables for pre-listening the records. And through him I got my first DJ gig, and also through him I got to know Aerosmith. Nice. So that's the connection.
Nice.
But unfortunately he passed away some years ago, and but he was a connection to some people in the city. He had his own radio show. It's called House Tracks.
Nice.
Back then on Kiss FM. So it was more a house DJ than a techno DJ, but he also could play techno. So yeah.
And do you think nowadays that that vibe still lives, like in at least at the Hardwax? Do you have like the same kind of I don't know, to get to know other people, new music, like in the same way you did when you were younger?
I like with all institutions, there's a development, there's an evolution for the good, for the bad, whatever. So, and the same was with Hardwax. So there was an evolution from this. The biggest advantage was in the beginning that they directly imported stuff from the US. One of the first, or the only one in Germany, or in Europe even, to have a direct connection to the artists in Detroit, artists in New York, and so on, and then get the stuff directly. That was the big advantage of them back then. But nowadays everything is went so global, so that it's not an advantage anymore to know those people in person. So
yeah, because most of the record stores are dead, like around the world. Here we don't have like a good record store. I guess like mid 2000 was the last like little bit of life they got, and now it's all internet. You're down buying some records online, like not even records, tracks.
Buying tracks and playing digitally. So that's what we have in front of us here.
Yeah, so we miss this place where to go to talk to to each other.
It's not good. It's not bad, I would say. So of course bad for the record stores, bad for those who want to dig records, and there's something to it. But it's also okay to play tracks digitally. So the stuff that I'm playing mostly techno stuff. I think there's no need anymore to put that on vinyl, because the music is so dense, so let's say limited. so loud. And I guess the vinyl requires more material with more dynamics and so on. That's what you can put on vinyl. And if you have a proper techno track, there's no need to put that on vinyl. And also it's harder and harder to find spaces where you can have a proper vinyl setup. And also technicians who know how to set up a proper vinyl setup for the DJ without feedback, without vibrating tables and so on. So that's quite hard. And also traveling, it's of course more convenient to drive with your hard drive and or stick and instead of packing your records, weighing them and so on. And my experience was unfortunately that the conditions were bad out there in the world. That's what I said that happened. So no proper DJ setups for vinyl, and also you had sometimes the last turntables on earth that you should play with, and then you recognize, all right, the tone arm is broken, but in this city it's the last two turntables available, so that doesn't make sense to prepare a record set and bring it over across borders and so on.
Totally.
So it's it is nice to play with records if it's a nice setting. Also, if you have music that fits to it, I totally like to play with records. I guess in December I will do a record set, a vinyl set at Panorama Bar for New Year's, and so I'm looking forward to that because it's different, it's nice, you can touch the records, and it's nice music, it's fun to play records.
Yeah, and it's a different kind of vibe, totally, I guess. So I was doing a little research before this interview on the internet, and I saw this picture, this photograph from the inside of Hardwax, and there was this giant speaker covering a wall, really big, like a sound system, and it said Kila-san. So I wanted to ask a little bit about that system because we were talking about it earlier. So why was this massive PA inside Hardwax?
Why? Because we needed storage space.
You weren't using it inside?
Yeah, I was. Yeah. But how did it came to Berlin? That's between Mark Anestis and DJ K-Boss from Japan, who's still the owner of this sound system.
Mm-hmm. And Mark is the owner from Hardwax,
yes,
right?
Yes, exactly. And I'm responsible for the sound system, so technically, and renting it out and so on, and being responsible for the party series we did, wax treatment, or renting it out to other spaces other parties like Terraforma or Meerkusma, for instance, or Storm Festival. And
were you throwing techno venues?
No, because it's a reggae sound system.
Yeah.
That's it's made for reggae music, so we play bass-heavy music on it. So dubstep works on it fine, reggae works on it fine, dancehall, and all this kind of heavy bass music, but not techno. That doesn't work on this sound system.
Okay, what happened with this bass venue in? What was the scene in Berlin was it common to have a sound system with a bass venue?
Not at all. I had it under my control for quite a while, so since 2001, and it was really hard to rent it out because people didn't have the money. So since it's a whole truckload of equipment, someone needs to pay for it. Yeah, it's a lot of work, lots of organizational work, lots of work on the spot to carry it, to set it up, and so on. So it's blood, sweat, and tears, in 3 words, and that has its price, kind of. And if no one has the money, then no one will rent out the sound system, especially if the venue already has a sound system. So then it so happened that Mark and Johnny from the former Tresor, they came together, so they knew each other from Tresor. And Johnny did a new place called Horst. So we came together and he said, you have this sound system and so on. So we came together and said, let's try it out. And then we found a name for it, and it was the wax treatment series. It was quite successful then, and also it was a time where dubstep was quite big. So we had Mahler playing on it, we had some dubstep DJs playing on it, which was quite nice. But then the music was not so popular anymore, and so it went down. We did a few open airs at Kiekebusch, right outside Berlin, right next to the airport in Schönefeld. And then we were searching for another venue, and we found Griesmühle. And then Pete kind of left the group of the organizers, so Mark, Pete and me organized the wax treatment at Horst. Then Pete left and my girlfriend jumped in, Killa, and through her we got a lot more input into the concept of the party. And so we did quite a nice lineup every time, didn't announce it, and people just came because it was interesting music and diverse music with a
no lineup available.
Yeah. And people came because it was nice music and a nice feeling in there at Griesmühle.
And what was the lifespan of the venues from using the Killa-san?
Of the venue, so Griesmühle closed unfortunately in 2020.
No, but again, I mean like the use of the system for different spaces. During how many years you were like putting out like this?
The party series, you mean?
Parties, yeah.
Let's say 3 or 4 years at Horst, and I guess the same time at Griesmühle. 13, yeah. Say that, yeah.
Nice. Very good. I would like to ask you a little bit about your latest work, a little bit with the choreographer you're working with.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name?
His name is Frédéric Guise.
Okay.
He's a French choreographer living in Sweden,
Mm-hmm.
and doing his work in Sweden. And we worked together for 9 years already.
9 years
Yeah.
working. Yeah.
First I did some DJ mixes for him, and now since some years I do the complete music, the complete score for his dance pieces. That's quite a nice work. A really good addition to being a DJ for nightclubs.
Yeah, and what's like a difference for you, like when you're, I don't know, composing or mixing, besides this thinking music for dancers, for the choreography, like
it's still kind of electronic music or techno music. It has the techno vibe, but still it has created a certain energy, and I have to bear in mind that it's not techno fans dancing to this music, but just dancers who are used to dance to different kind of music. So it has to have some elements, some key elements that they know when to shift moves or something like that. So that's all I can implement into it. And I can be more Fiedel, I think. So the Fiedel inside me wants to play around a little bit more with the stuff, also different measures and so on. It's kind of experimental work for me as well.
And do you compose like the music and then there's the performance, or are you playing live sometimes along with the performance?
Different every time. Playing live is a bit difficult because once the music is there, the dancers take their keys from the music. Mm-hmm. During a live set, I'm not able to make all those keys again at the same time.
Yeah.
So if they dance some phrases and there's a key point, they need to change things, and that's why it's I call it semi-live. So sometimes I perform, but it's within a let's say time frame that it runs through. The changes come whenever they need to come, and in between I can emphasize with the filter or take away the bass drum, something easy, or put some effects on it. So something easy like that, but still the structure stays the same. But that's due to the choreography, which has a certain timing.
Yeah, because like music is some kind of a conductor, like.
Exactly. So the work is different sometimes. Sometimes I see some phrases that he sends me, so he dances, he records the phrases, and I translate it into music, and then he takes the track and does everything to it. And sometimes I provide the music, like for the last piece, Barricades and Legacies. We performed it some weeks ago only in Malmö and in Stockholm. And then I made the music completely for that one, and he took over and made the dances out of that.
Nice. So you have like a beautiful feedback. Like
Yeah. It's nice what happened.
Nice. I would like to change a little bit like the topic, like asking you some folk questions. Like, what's your impression, like coming to Chile for the second time or the first time you came? Like, I don't know, club-wise or music-wise, do you have like some impressions to share?
I didn't have any idea when I came here the first time how it will be. So it's for someone who's traveling, you could mention that it's a different vibe on every continent. So North America, South America, Australia, Asia, Europe. It's a different vibe everywhere, and I like the vibe here in South America in general. And not especially in Chile, it's kind of the same like in South America as well. It's more alive, a little bit more easygoing, and that's what I like about South America in general, not especially Chile. So I had a good time last time playing for Panal Records, and that was nice, and really excited to be there on tonight.
Did you visit other countries in South America last time?
No, only 3 countries. I was in Argentina and in Colombia. So only in Buenos Aires and Bogota, and this time it's a little bit more, but I'm excited to see that and to catch that vibe. It's always something special for me to be somewhere else, to also catch the vibe that's there, because it's special for the places.
So, and when you're mixing like in a new place for the first time, like, do you like read the vibe of the audience, or you go like I have this set like in my mind, I want to play this?
Always, let's say 99%.
Yeah.
I improvise, so that means I go to the dance floor before, check the vibe, what's on, how does the sound system sound like, how's the vibe on the dance floor, how are the people right now. Can I push it a little bit more? Do I have to take it down? So then I think about how to start, and then how to play my set, and then how it should evolve. I take from communicating with the crowd. So then that doesn't make any difference if I play here or in Moscow or in New York or somewhere else. It doesn't make any difference.
That's interesting. Like you have like an engineering background, right? Like so like. Getting to know the technical aspects of the PA, I don't know, so move a little bit around the space of the the club, like so you have the input, like maybe not too much bass in this.
Something like that, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Okay.
So that it fits to the sound system, to the sound, because if you overdo it and the sound system is distorting or gets limited or something like that, and it's not fun to hear it and dance to it. So I have to find a way to work with the technical conditions.
And every space is different, so you have to
so
check.
That's why every time is different.
Yeah. So insisting with South America, did you get to know like some South American or Latin rhythms maybe interest you, or music?
That happened already before.
Yeah?
Yeah, long time before. So I'm interested. I have quite a broad horizon when it comes to music. I listen to jazz, I listen to dub and reggae, hip-hop, like I say, drum and bass, Latin music in general, African music, because I like rhythm. So for me, the music needs to get into my hips first, and then I try to translate it to the people and get it into their hips, and get into the hips of the audience to make them dance. So that's for me this the formally described dance vibe also. Yeah.
Cool. So and maybe when you get to know like new rhythms or whatever, new music, and when you try to make it your own, do you work like thinking about I don't know, patterns or rhythmic structure, or do you sample, or do you like to sample music?
I don't sample so much. No, every bit of music I build myself from scratch. So building the bass drums, building everything myself. So I didn't sample at all. And that's not something I want to do. I want to reach it that way, to have it created from scratch, to do something, to do a field version, not a copy of something, just sample a rhythm, a Latin American or African rhythm, something that's too easy for me, I think.
Yeah, because it depends on the
can
process.
Be nice. I play tracks like that because they sound nice, but I cannot do it myself, unfortunately.
Yeah, because there is to me at least this very how to say it, like a familiar relationship between African music and techno music, at least on the rhythm side. So I don't know. It comes to even like Euclidean rhythms, like divisions. It has to do with a little bit of math too. But it's always like everything that's rhythmically speaking is it's already done somehow. So it's like a reinterpretation of that, and maybe like how to mix it in a fresh new way. So do you try to incorporate some of this, or do you just like do you start with the jam when you make music, or do you have something in mind?
Sometimes I have a small idea in mind. Sometimes I sing it into my cell phone, and then I take it from there, and then I develop this idea, and then I don't have a setup that it's there all the time for every track. It's like a new idea, and then sometimes it's a rhythm, sometimes it's a sound, sometimes just a noise or something like that I start with, and then I do music with it. That's also how we work with MMM, for instance. Every track is made from scratch. It's not a setting that you have, using samples and using the same samples and putting different sequences over it, or changing the bass drum or something like that, or have everything compressed the same way. So it doesn't work for me like that. No.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, especially with the MMM tracks, it has this vibe like a kind of jamming, like a live.
I can play another MMM track from the album, maybe.
That's a good idea.
So the first track of the album.
So this is the first track of the new album, called On the Edge, right?
Right.
Released last year.
Last year in October, yeah.
のままお父さんといたい。どこに行きたくないの。一緒にいるだけでいいの。それだけで私楽しいの。お嫁に行ったってこれ以上楽しさはないと思う。このままでいいの。
Cool. Thank you for that. So I have a few questions from the audience.
Oh.
So what would be your advice for young bloods starting with electronic music, like producing electronic music? Do you have like a little advice for them?
Technically not. Use whatever you want to, but it has to come from the inside. Not. I see recently that often it's a career choice that you want to do as either DJ or producer, to become famous, to earn money, whatever. Okay, nothing against earning money, but still it has to come from the inside. And only then you can be really good and authentic.
Very good.
That would be an advice.
So stay true to yourself.
Exactly. That's what I try to do myself. So, of course, it's all a business somehow. Yeah. But still, if you stay true to yourself, then the artistic expression comes from the inside. And if you don't do it from the inside, but from the business aspect of things, then it cannot last long, I think. And if you want to build a career, just feel it, be it.
Very wise. Another question from the audience, like, what's your biggest musical influence? It doesn't have to be like now, but in your life, I don't know.
Biggest in my life.
Biggest. What kind of a musical influence did you can like say this one?
I would go back in time. That's hip hop and Aerosmith. So those two things.
Nice. So another question from the audience, like from the creative process side, do you have like an inspiration for sound design, or do you work like flowing? What you just said, like you start from scratch.
It's rather flowing. I have ideas. It's all in my mind. I cannot really express it unless I make the track. So there's no idea I can tell you right away that I have, or no scheme that I work with. It's just if the idea is there, it's there. Then make a track out of it if it needs to be made. So and then I work like that. So I don't feel the pressure or the urge to bring out tracks. I enjoy artists who bring out tracks and nice tracks that I can play. That's enough for me.
But do you like a sculpting sound, or do you dive into the sound design aspect of your music, or do you just stay with machines?
With Fiedel, I don't do it so much. With we do it a lot because of Aerosmith, which is nice. Nice, but a really long process to get into all of that. And I think for the album, it was really worth it because it sounds perfect, and we worked hard for it, and using the ideas that Aerosmith had. And but for Fiedel, it's not so much the sound design; it's rather the tracks and the playfulness of the tracks. So if I could play it as a DJ, if the idea works for me, then it's okay.
So you're like a lot from the ear, like it's always telling you what's good or not.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Nice. Can you tell what is the worst part of being a DJ?
Traveling.
Traveling?
Sitting in the airplane and waiting in lines at the airport. So checking in, security check at the gate, getting out of the plane, waiting for the luggage and security check again, or immigration, whatever. You wait so much. But then, once you're out of the airport, then it's nice actually. So like it was today. Thanks to Elias from Panal Records, I had a beautiful day so far, and also here it's quite nice. So yeah, that it pays off all the stress and boredom, mostly boredom in between. So the traveling process is
Like
kind of
dead
boring.
times,
Yeah.
waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can relate. I don't know if people here from the audience have a question from.
No. So it's going your night tonight.
Yeah.
How many tequilas do you drink tonight?
Only one, maybe two. Maybe two, that's it. Yeah, because I continue traveling tomorrow, and if I'm too drunk, then it's not good.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, I would like to thank you very much for this interview and your time
Thank
and
you.
your
Yeah.
kind
Thank you
words.
for having me.
And thank you to everybody who's connecting online and here. And thanks again.